Good afternoon, everyone. It's one of the most solemn sights in our American history. This is where the tragedy of 9/11 took place. This is now the 9/11 War Memorial and the neighborhood that it's in. And this is One World Trade Center. It's next to the Oculus and connected by this underground passageway, which is an amazing thing we'll be talking about next week in its own. And where am I today? Well, you can see forever, they say, at One World Trade Center. And that's where I'm going, to the observation deck. Join me, Terry Dixon, for an adventure for anyone as we see what it's like. World Trade Center is down here in its own neighborhood next to Brookfield Place. You can get there by the shuttle and the one line. Don't take the other red ones, they don't go there. I will start this at Brookfield Place, which is across the street from One World Trade Center. And from Brookfield Place is one of the entryways where you can go down into this amazing underground passageway we're going to talk about next week. And this is now how you get to the entrance to go up to the observation decks at One World Trade Center. You go down here, you walk through this path, or you can come in from the Oculus. The Oculus is set up so that you can see that One World Trade Center tower through the slit in the top of the building at all times. It's also set up so the sun can come in at the exact time that the second plane hit on 9/11. So it's kind of a solar, astronomical thing there going on. But there's all of these underground passages in South Manhattan, and this one is under that Oculus. You can take it from Brookfield Place, you can enter the Oculus, you can come there on any of the many subways that come there. Green ones, red ones, blue ones, yellow ones, and brown ones between Fulton Center and the Oculus. And eventually, whether you come on a PATH train or whatever, you will get here to this subterranean entrance, and you will go through all of this security, for obvious reasons in my opinion, in order to take your ascent up to the observation decks. There's 3 of them on 3 levels, the 100th, 101st, and 102nd floors up there. This will cost a base of $44. After you pay fees and whatnot, it tends to come to about $51 for the average adult. There are the experiences that you can buy that cost more, like always. Now, this is the last of the tall buildings that I'm going to be visiting because I went on a quest to evaluate them. They are really fascinating. Everybody puts on a show. Everybody has what I call a shtick. And this one here, the experience opened in 2015 or 2016, something like that. It's unclear. They immediately went for the grand show. I went to this building years ago when it first opened its observation decks. And it was the first building that I went up in that had a huge show to go with it. You didn't get that over at the Empire State Building or even the Top of the Rock at the time, but you got it here. Now, when you get up here, you are in the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. If you include the spire that you see on top of that building, it is 1,776 feet. Take that for what it's worth. It's a very special number here in the United States of America. So you go up to the top deck in this one, and they let you get kind of a glimpse, and then you start going down. So you go down, and you have a lot, I hate to say it, you have a lot of show in this place. You have the restaurant and bar up there. It's called One Dine. If you want to go for an actual meal, you'll probably need to have a reservation. If you want to go in the evening, you definitely need a reservation. If you want to stop by for a drink, hit and miss on that one. So that is the little cafe that goes with it. You might get a snack in there, but if you want to go to One Dine, you're going to have to make a reservation probably. Another thing that One World Trade Center does is they have these displays, a lot of explorers, sailors, adventurers from history, Galileo, Copernicus, people who learned how to navigate the universe and the planet. Then you have all of these little things. You have the skyline, little ridges along the windows there. But basically, you have magnificent views. You're on the south end of Manhattan. You're towering over every other building in town. So not only do you get to see the rivers and, Staten Island and the bridges and whatever you might be looking at, up the Hudson, down the Hudson, out to Governor's Island and whatever there, you also have that rare opportunity to kind of have an overlook at all those other buildings, Empire State, the Edge, Rockefeller Center, Vanderbilt, all of them. None of them are quite as high as World Trade Center, even though when it gets to be things like the Edge and Vanderbilt, you are about even with those on the observation decks. So this is all part of the giant complex that was created obviously after the 9/11 tragedy. This was America's answer to terrorism attacks, was to rebuild and boom, say, heck with you, we made a monument out of it, we made a new building, and we're moving on. It was a brave thing to do in New York. It was a wonderful thing to do, honestly, for our country unity. So a trip to the World Trade Center Tower is interesting. Is it my favorite? You will find out soon. But it is not connected to the museum or to the monument. It is connected to the Oculus and that part. It's down here at the World Trade Center site. You can get down there from a shuttle over to the One. It's a beautiful building. Came from an amazing, horrifying tragedy. So remember, it's solemn, not just show. Enjoy.